I think members of the public, certainly, they don't even know that this happened, but members of the crypto community largely aren't taking this seriously enough.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have former intelligence contractor Edward Snowden giving us his take on why crypto is in a really bad place and where he sees the industry going next. Interestingly, Snowden also chimed in on the state of the market shortly after the ecosystem was rocked by FTX's collapse. In a one-sentence tweet last week, he warned of trouble ahead, but said he was starting to feel the itch to re-enter the market, alongside a photo showing where he'd nailed the March 2020 bottom call. Snowden also broadened his criticism to include any crypto exchange that keeps track of users' funds. He issues a strong warning about the dangers of a world without financial privacy with respect to cryptocurrency. Snowden says crypto is failing as an electronic cash system because cash is largely intended to be anonymous. He addresses Coinbase after the recent collapse of FTX and says they are one of the only companies that remain compliant with anti-money laundering regulations, but is a drag on the crypto space. Let's listen as Edward Snowden gives his crypto market prediction and why there are some major hurdles to address over the coming years. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
The challenge here is everybody knows who is technically involved in this, that Bitcoin is really bad on privacy. I think the only people who do it worse actually are Ethereum. And that's because they use the account-based model as opposed to the address-based model. But a lot of people only use like one account. So they see it's like as if you were using Bitcoin, you were just reusing the same wallet. You get this giant history cruft that just follows you wherever, and then you create all these chain explorers, and then people see every smart contract you've interacted with on Ethereum, and it's problematic. Bitcoin suffers from the same thing, but at least largely because there's not as much contract-based activity on Bitcoin. They only see, address A sends to address B and so on. They follow it out, they chart it, they see where it splits on the chain, and then they try to go where it goes back to a common node, or they track spends, or they go where it goes through KYC gateways. And, they find out with the tools that I had at the NSA in like 2013, tracking Bitcoin transactions would have been very, very easy. And this is why, even though I used Bitcoin to rent the servers that I used for communicating with journalists and passing, massive archive files over the internet anonymously, I was using Tor, I was using sort of mixing services. I was trying to basically do anything that would buy time. It wasn't that I thought the NSA wouldn't be able to follow the trail. It was that, I'd have to go to this guy, and then I'd get routed over to the office, and then they wait on it because they had other things to do. And it wasn't until there would be a sustained effort that they would be able to do this. And by then, I would have already contacted the journalists, so the door would be closed. Normal Bitcoin users don't have that level of awareness. They don't understand the network flows. They don't understand simply your IP address sending, this transaction to this node that then passes it on. All of that leaves a history that is largely being recorded. There are ways on Bitcoin that they can improve this, and that are like coin join transactions and the whole join market thing, which are great, but they're way too technical for average people. We see some wallet providers who are trying to build in their own mixers, and that's great. It's an improvement. But it's really not enough. You have to have this stuff in the protocol. It has to happen on chain. And that's where you see things like, Monero is great. I use Monero, right? People think I'm like a super Monero hater, and no, they've got a couple super toxic people in their community. And there were some bad design decisions like a million years ago. And it's not perfect, right? But what is? Zcash has its own flaws too. And then Zcash, it's also great, but, for a lot of people, they're not using the shielded transactions, or at least they weren't using the shielded transactions. Now it's getting easier. They've got mobile clients that will you'll do a transparent transaction, and then it'll roll you over to a shielded transaction automatically. And these things are great. This is what we need, though. We need people to be able to transact on chain at any time and effortlessly without their awareness, the same way that when you connect to Gmail through a web browser, it's using HTTPS. You should have levels of privacy protection baked into the protocol. And this prevents the kind of tomfoolery that we see the U.S. government beginning to engage in with things like OFAC and Tornado Cash. There is a level of technical innocence, or less charitably ignorance, that people need to understand the average person has, right? What is happening now is what happened and destroyed the spirit of the original web. I think a lot of people who are in this room, they've been technical for a very long time. They've been a part of the internet for a very long time. They've seen it change. A lot of you in the room remember what dial-up modems sound like, right? That's not actually shared by the vast majority of the population, even people who are of the right age. And we lost that internet because we onboarded billions of people, and the people who were providing the gateways for that didn't have their best interests at heart, right? That's what we're seeing now. We're seeing people exploiting the kind of ignorance that made so many people now think tapping like the Facebook app on your phone, that's the internet as they understand it. And now think, crypto is Coinbase, right? Or something else equally horrible as that. And to you, those of you in the room who are, work for Coinbase, it's really nothing personal. You're just an example of the sort of overly compliant, overly indulgent sort of thinking, which, yeah, you guys get rich, you'll make a lot of money, but have you actually sort of advanced the interests of society? Maybe in the same way that people sell lawnmowers do. You're not even building lawnmowers, you're selling them. Great, you've popularized the lawnmower. Lawnmowers are important, they're valuable, right? But when I go and buy a lawnmower, nobody asks for me to hold up my passport and scan my face. And the fact that you guys go along with that is frankly toxic and embarrassing. The big players will become the sizable entities in the field. We know that works. That's simply sort of efficiencies of scale. It's going to happen here. My plea to those of you who are in that sort of big end of the pool is, if you're going to cave strategically. Leave space for the protocol and for the sort of values that we're all supposed to be representing here, to make sure that, yeah, the government wants to do something and they can layer some law on you because you're big, you've got 10 million employees and they can all come and arrest you. But make sure that, yeah, if you are a stub and you have to check passports and you have to identify wallets to go, one hop out, you understand and you structure your systems in such a way, and everyone understands that that's fine. But as soon as somebody goes one more hop out to the second hop, they move to the other wallet, your trail goes cold. And when it comes back into your exchange, you have to ask people what their purposes are. They declare this, whatever, but you really have no way of checking it. And you don't want to be in a position where you can check that. Because really, that's not your role in society, even if the government says it is. That's for police. That's for intelligence, right? That's their job. And their job is supposed to be hard.
Every active crypto user wishes they could nail tops and bottoms, but Snowden has proven he's more skilled at timing the market than most. In March of 2020, Snowden commented on the crypto market's panic, taking a bullish view in the hours following a severe crash that became known as Black Thursday. The crypto market had tanked, with Bitcoin and Ethereum plummeting over 40% in a day. But as traders and holders warned of doom ahead, Snowden offered a more optimistic take on the situation. He said it was the first time in a while he's felt like buying Bitcoin, and the drop was too much panic and too little reason. Black Thursday would mark a generational bottom for the top cryptocurrency, and by 2021, it was leading a bull market that spanned the entire crypto space. 18 months after Snowden called out the panic, Bitcoin peaked at $69,000, a 1,600% increase from the bottom. What do you think about Edward Snowden's crypto market prediction? Comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.